to protect themselves. The problem comes when you think that you're better than other people, and you think it's okay to lie to anybody that's not a Jew. You think it's okay to steal from people that are not a Jew. You have two sets of standards. The problem with that is it allows you to rationalize anything, right? And human beings are generally self-serving creatures. So if your fundamental religious belief system allows you to operate in such a way that you believe there isn't consequences to stealing from other people, killing other people, kids that are under 9 years old, like if you think those things are okay, then, how are you going to operate? Because to me, like, my moral code keeps me on track.
I don't think
this is a lot of topics that we covered in the debate. So if you haven't watched the debate that I had with Andrew Mayer, he's a Jew, who was saying that, I misrepresent the Talmud, I'm taking things out of context, go watch that debate. You don't have to watch the whole thing. You can watch just the 15-minute opening statement that I give. And then if you're further interested, you can see the open discussion with Andrew. But I bring these passages, exactly what Dan is talking about. Here is what the passage of the Talmud says, or some of the authoritative legal commentaries on the Talmud say, and this is how those religious texts are being implemented in Israel or outside of Israel, with horrific atrocities being committed. And these are not being committed by secular Jews. These are being committed by Jews who view themselves as acting in the name of God. And, I presented all that in that debate, and he had no response. The Jewish opponent, he had no response to any of that other than to say, there are rabbis who disagree. Okay, yeah, fine. There are rabbis who disagree with the idea that you can steal from non-Jews, or you can cheat non-Jews, you can exploit non-Jews. Yeah, there are some rabbis. You can find their statements where they disagree, but listen to what Dan says. Dan says that creates an ambiguity. It creates a gray zone, like, one rabbi says you can do it, you can cheat and exploit, and another rabbi says you can't do it. So you're just going to go with whatever you feel like at the end of the day. You're going to feel justified. Well, there's no clear-cut answer. Therefore I'm going to do whatever I want. And that's what happens, unfortunately. That's why you get these kinds of atrocities. This is why you get war crimes. This is why you get exploitative behavior, and on and on. You don't have a clear-cut moral code that says, no, do not do this. Everyone is agreed. Do not do this. For example, in Islam, there's no Muslim scholar that says, yeah, you can kill, like in peacetime, a Muslim can kill a non-Muslim and there's no consequence for that. There's no legal liability for that. There's no Muslim scholar who has that opinion or that position. There's no Muslim scholar that says, yeah, if take a loan from a non-Muslim, you don't have to pay it back. You don't have to pay back that loan. There's no Muslim scholar who says that. There's no Muslim scholar that says you can indirectly kill a non-Muslim. You find that in Judaism. And don't take my word for it. Read Israel Shahak. Who is Israeli himself. I mean, he passed away, but he writes about this. Indirect killing is permissible. Indirect killing is permissible in Judaism. So if a Gentile falls into a well or falls into a pit, and you remove the ladder, so he can't come out and he's going to starve to death and die in that pit, that's allowed. That's perfectly permissible within Judaism, because you're not directly killing him. A direct killing is like if you slit his throat or you shoot him. But just removing a ladder, well, maybe the ladder was just not meant to be there. It's indirect. Yeah, he'll die, but it's an indirect. It's not because you're killing him. He's dying of starvation. It's the starvation that's killing him, not you. That's the rabbinic logic. So read Israel Shahak if you want to learn more about Judaism in that way.